thinking about it. I've been thinking about all the things you do. Thinking about you.
So it's finally time for that big night with your Valentine. You've picked them out the most perfect gift, painted your nails, picked out a sexy little outfit, chose the best jewelry accessories, put on some perfume you just know they'll love, and curled your hair you know the way they like. Now it's time to bring your face from this to this. Alright, so I'm prepping my skin with the Tarte Maracuja Oil because I am very dry. So I'm putting this all over, and then I also have been using the e.l.f. Daily Moisture Stick, and these are basically going to act as my primer, and I just like to let them soak in while I do my eyebrows and eyeshadow. So start with my eyebrows, I'm brushing them out of course, and then using the Anastasia brow definer to kind of get the main shape of my eyebrows, and then I'm going to detail them later. So fill them in a little bit with this. Then going with my shadow, I first prime them with the Shadow Insurance by Too Faced. Then taking a 120 color palette by BH, I'm first taking this light pink shade and basically putting it all over my eye as like a base for the shadows. Then this darker pink, I'm lightly putting it in the crease as a transition color and just windshield wiper movements to kind of get a base of a light pink going for all the pink we're going to blend in there. Next up, I'm taking this darker pink right next to it with a bit of a more defined brush to go right into the crease and the outer V to start adding more definition and depth to the eye, and also just increase the pigmentation of the pink on our eyelid. I'm also bringing it a little bit more into the inner corner than I normally would, since we're doing a half cut crease and we need more color over there against the actual crease where we are going to cut it. Then I'm taking this purple shade and a very light defined brush just right into the crease, so we have lots of definition and depth into the eye, and again it's going to look good against where we cut the crease because the more darkness where we cut it is going to be better. And I'm going back with previous brushes to make sure it's very nice and blended out. Of course, this is the key, just making sure all the colors are blended nicely and seamless. Now time to cut that crease. Using some concealer on a small angled brush and just starting to define the crease with it about halfway and blending it in onto the lid. I'm actually going a little bit above my actual crease just because my crease is very low on my eye and my eyelid is small, and blending it down. Then I'm going to take this white shade and just pack it on right on the eyelid where there's no color and where I blended that concealer down, and just do it as much as you want until it's the amount of pigmentation that you want. Then I took a mix of the dark pink and purple and just put it right into the outer V so it's nice and seamless there and very blended, because again it's just a half cut crease so we still want the color over there. Then I added some more purple on a different small definer brush because again we want it nice and defined right where the crease is and the darkest color right against where that cut crease is. And of course re-blending out all those crease colors, and I also started putting purple right on the lower lash line. Next up onto face, with this BH Corrector palette I took green on all the little red blemishes I have to cover them up before I put on my foundation, and I just blended it in a little bit with a beauty blender. I also took this little bit of a peachy shade right on my under eyes just because we're working with pinks and purples and I don't want that to bring out any of the same colors in my under eyes, so this will brighten it up a little bit. For foundation, I just used this Estee Lauder one and started putting it on my face, and I also blended this in with a beauty blender to get a nice flawless finish, and blended in all over, making sure not to get onto the eyeshadow at all, and making sure it's nice and blended. Then with this little Boo Boo Cover Up Concealer, I just put it on my under eyes and basically my whole T-zone, so down around my nose and my chin, and I also made sure to reapply wherever I put any of the green where blemishes were to make sure there's extra coverage there. And what do you know, I'm blending with a beauty blender again. I also like to use this to kind of define the eyeshadow and make it a straight line. And just blended this all out again. Then to my beloved Kat Von D Shade and Light contour palette, I like the yellow shade right under my under eyes. It just brightens them up super nicely. And then I take the other kind of just neutral skin color shade to apply the rest of my face very lightly. Then for contour, this more cool tone bronzer is perfect for contour, so I just use it to define my cheekbones a little bit, and then also a little bit on my jawline. and right up on the temples of my forehead to make my forehead look a little bit smaller. And then the warm tone bronzer I just used to warm up my skin a little bit and kind of blend in that contour a little bit better. Just basically wherever I put the contour, just right above it. And also on my neck, so there's no kind of harsh edges or different colors from my face to my neck. And then I'm using this Wet n Wild highlight stick. Lately I've been kind of blending my highlight down onto my actual cheeks where my blush would go. So I'm putting it all over there, onto my nose, and a little bit right on my forehead. And then I'm also going to contour my nose a little bit with that same cool tone bronzer from the Kat Von D palette. And I find that using a beauty blender to blend in the contour powder on my nose makes it look really natural. So I'm doing that, and I'm also using it to blend in the Cream highlighter stick. Now for powder highlight, it's also by Wet n Wild. It's a very, very nice, beautiful color. And I'm also doing the same thing, kind of putting it down onto my cheeks and putting an extra layer just where you would normally put your highlight, just on the top of the cheekbones. And then again, another layer on my forehead and my nose, also my cupid's bow. So then I'm just using this Too Faced to put a little bit of blush since we already have all that pigment there from the highlight. Then, like I said, I'm going to define my eyebrows a little bit better with the NYX Micro Brow because it's a smaller tip, so it's good at defining things a little bit better. Then mascara, I use first Big Shot by Maybelline, and then the Smashbox one for my lower lash line, and a second layer on the top lashes. Then that white shade that's on the lid, I'm using it to define the eyebrow bone and also the inner corner of the eyes. And then also to define the eyes a little bit better, I put more purple underneath and also used this Milani Nude Cream stick to go right into the waterline to open them up a little bit more. And of course, you can use lashes for this. Do your thing if you want, but I did not, obviously. Then I'm obsessed with these Bite Beauty lip liners. They just came out. And so I'm lining my lips with this. And then also their Amuse Bouche lipstick in Honeycomb right on top for a nice nude lip since we have a lot going on the eyes. And here is the finished look. I really hope you guys enjoyed it and have a great Valentine's Day. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video.